Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second of the doubleheader weekend here in the Crown Royal Truck Series at Chicagoland. It's the McCafe 300 at the Chicagoland Speedway. Yesterday's race was very entertaining with a battle at the end where Colton Lane was able to put himself right into the championship hunt and claim one of the first wildcard spots currently in the field in that number 60 with a big win yesterday over Austin Murray. And now we have more drivers locked in, we have more drivers fighting for the title, and we have more drivers eliminated from title contention. But of course, the good thing about the doubleheader weekends, you see some interesting drivers up front. And Priya McShane and Lotus Disparito, the first ever NSDCA all-female front row, will be starting here at Chicagoland. They were the slowest two on the lead lap in yesterday's race, but they get to start up front and see what the RER and JSR trucks are made of. Behind them is Austin Delgado, Kev Shearer, and rookie in his second race, Toby Christie, in the number 36 for JSR. You also got some contenders in this field just behind. As you see, Stephen Wallace Jr., a very strong driver. He is 18th in points, barely hanging on, barely in mathematical contention to point his way in, but it might just have to be a must-win scenario. Cody Goforth in the 27 with a poorer performance yesterday keeps him 15th in points. He's going to need a miracle to get back in to the chase hunt. Eli Bright, three-time winner this season, will start just a couple spots ahead of his championship rival Roger Ray, who yesterday was able to finish ahead of him, and it's now an 8-point gap between Eli Bright and Roger Ray. We'll see if the 8 and 84 will be putting a great fight to the end. Meanwhile, Peter Onjak only 21 points back, and even Alex Peters is mathematically eligible. He's 38 back from Roger Ray. There is Ray and Jefferson. The incident on pit road yesterday cost them both. They both came to the hauler to talk it out. There was a heated discussion about it, but there was no altercation between them, and it looks like they'll be settling it out on the track today. They start side by side with each other in the 20th and 21st position. But Jay Jefferson's good run yesterday knocks Colton Yeo out of the chase currently. 2 points back from the 48 driver, about 9 points back from Chicagoland in 7th, and a few more from Austin Murray in 6th. Yeo needs a good run today to make into the chase. The underdog story we've been following this season might just come to an end here today at the McCafe 300. Irving Allison in the 82 won South Boston on a very big charge up from the back this season, and it looks like it's going to be a must-win scenario for him. He is 6 points behind Riley Spurley, but let's not count that out. He could definitely point his way in and take a wild card spot. The problem here is Jay Jefferson right on the cutoff, Sebastian Kukalan right on the cutoff of that points position in the 7th and 8th spots in points. That could knock them out if Yo and even Logan Bradley or Alex Benyako have good runs. They could point their way in instead of Irving Allison and knock Kukalan and Jefferson out, making them claim the wild card spots. Daniel Cobbs had a good race yesterday. There's Alex Peters. He has officially become the 4th driver locked in, as his 2 wins are going to push him far and ahead of who the second wildcard driver would be. So Alex Peters is now locked into the chase. But one driver who's come out of nowhere, 10th in points after yesterday, is Logan Bradley after picking up 4 spots in the point standings. Logan Bradley is pretty far behind, though. 16 points back from Jay Jefferson, 14 off of Colton Yeo. The 57 truck was fast yesterday. Let's see if Zachary Racing can make the chase this year with their unlikeliest candidate. The number 77 of Austin Johnson is just about to lock his way in. It's going to need an absolute meltdown by the 77 team to miss the chase, but we've seen that with Monster this season already in Cup and Trucks. Anything can happen, and that 77 could be on its roof come lap 2 or 3. Peter Onjak has locked his way into the chase, fighting right now in the 3rd position in the point standings, trying to get more bonus points. Kukalan, as we said, is one of the wild card or could be one of the wild card drivers, but is 7th in points. Austin Murray's pointed his way in, but could still miss it out here today in this 91 if a poor performance hits him. And Colton Lane, yesterday's winner, with only 4 drivers going laps down. They start at the back, but we will go ahead and get ready to go down trackside for the commands to fire the engines here at the McCafe 300.
Drivers, start your engines!
With that, the engines are fired. It will be another 54 laps around this 1.5 mile curvy oval. Priya McShane on pole, Lotus Disburrito in second. Who knows how long they'll stay up there? The 19 truck's definitely better than the 63, but it's always nice to see a historical moment made in the NSDCA. Those two have not really been the best female drivers in the field. Priya is probably one of the top two that we've seen, but Lotus has only ran the handful of races she started this season. Her highlight of the career at Nashville in the Cup Series, taking on a good finish. But you got a lot of the hungry guys in the back, especially the barbecue sauce number 90 of Austin Delgado trying to get KGM a race win. You got Scott Roush in the 29 trying to run well. Toby Christie will be starting 5th in just his second ever start in a truck. And he's only had 2 practices and 1 qualifying session to start before and yesterday's race, of course, but he has never been up front being challenged by drivers. The top 10 have some faster cars at the back. Jesse Turner, Aiden Smith, Ethan Head might be contenders, as well as Gatlin Downey, even Maxwell Fay, but you're looking at the group back there. The 83, the 8, the 84, 48, even the 98 could charge through the field, and that 94, we'll see how it'll be. The invert puts an interesting top 10. Green flags in the air. We're racing for the final time in the regular season in the Crown Royal Truck Series. McShane's going to jump out early. Delgado looking for that second spot. Looks like Disburrito's really slowing up that outside line. Christie now might be forced 3 wide by Alex Fletcher, Aiden Smith back there. But you see it's 3 wide in the middle of that pack, 3 wide up front, and we're going crazy early. Alex Fletcher slow on the bottom. Christie moving his way up into 4th. Disburrito up the track, 3 by 3 coming off as Eli Bright bounces off of Roger Ray back there. That was close between championship contenders right there, and that could have easily given the regular season title to Peter Ojak. Contact there. Patrick Smith sliding on the apron. Bright in it. Bright is in the wall. Ray is keeps going, but Eli Bright bounces off the wall in the 8 truck, and he's now 40th as they run. So that could be his regular season hopes dashed, and we are already going crazy with the drivers, the slower drivers holding up the faster ones as they head around this Chicagoland Speedway. Out in front, the ladies pulling away from the field. McShane and Disburrito out in front. Delgado 3rd. Look at Christie up at 4th. Gonna move the 90 up the track a little bit. Gives him a shot. Here comes the JSR 36. And for the first time in Joseph Strigley's career, he's gonna see his teammates up in 2nd and 3rd in a truck race. What a run you're seeing so far as we come up through these early stages. Scott Roush real close to Delgado coming off of there. There's Jesse Turner for Anjado trying to get Anjado's first win at Chicagoland. He's already up into the 5th spot. Maxwell Fye now sliding on Gatlin Downey. Alex Benyako in the 83. Of course, he had the spin early in the last race in the first race of this season of this doubleheader. He fought back to a top 20. He's 11th in points. It's going to need a miracle to point his way in, but he might just be looking. It's a win and you're in scenario for that 83 team right now. Antoine Smith bounces off the wall further back. There's Jay Jefferson in the 48 starting his charge through the field. And I want to point out, Alex Fletcher, Eric Monaco are starting to drop back. But guys like Aiden Smith, Maxwell Fay, Gatlin Downey, Ethan Head, and the JSR duo are doing very well staying out in front. But this is just surprising to see. McShane and Disburrito 5 laps through this event, and they have pulled away from the rest of the field. And that's not to say, I mean, you had a lot of the slower trucks up front. That's why they started up front in this invert. But really, you still have trucks like Ethan Head. That's an SBR truck, an Anjado truck of the 47, GDI's 35. Stephen Wallace Jr., we're all inside this top 15. And we got a lot of the slower contenders really hanging strong and keeping together with this front group. There's Colton Yo in the 21. Jay Jefferson is his boss in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. He's his boss this weekend, but Jay's also trying to win a 4th race, gain more bonus points heading into the chase. So will Jay try to push his way to a race win, or will he in the later stages, depending on where he is, maybe let Colton Yo by, pick up those 2 points on him, and get Yo into the chase as well. Jefferson, though, charging through the field. Jay's not much for teamwork in that 48 truck. He's more about winning, and wanting that championship that has eluded him for many years, as we are 4 wide back there coming off of the corner. Roger Ray has been in some very scary situations so far for that 84 truck as he's still working his way through, trying to clear now Colton Yo. It looks like that's going to happen this time. Irving Allison, Alex Fletcher bouncing off of each other. There is Logan Bradley trying to point his way into the show. He's in the midst of this as well. There's Alex Peters, who's locked in. Austin Johnson, Sebastian Kukulon, Austin Murray. Murray and Johnson are fairly safe, but they can't be too safe. If they finish outside of the top 30, they could easily fall out of the chase there. There's Colton Lane. And one thing to point out about the doubleheaders, they've been swept every season so far. Last year, Austin Murray, Chicagoland was not swept. Pocono has been the races that have been swept in the doubleheader weekends. Chicagoland last season was Logan Cloud and Jay Jefferson, so I apologize on that. But we'll see if Colton Lane will follow up and try to get a doubleheader sweep started here. At Chicagoland, 2 cars into the wall. That's Matthew Brown. Peter Onjak might be involved in it. Cody Goforth in it. They're still spinning. There's Larry Hagan into it. Cordell Smith as well. And we were seeing how aggressive these guys were early. It wasn't going to work for long. McShane and Desperito had pulled away to a margin here by lap 10. That's going to go away now. Matthew Brown. Austin Johnson's in it. Johnson with damage. That could take him out of the points standings. Austin Johnson currently sits about 24 points ahead of Colton Yo in the points standings. His day is now done. Will finish probably about 38. That's 1 point. Colton Yo, if he scores a top 20, maybe needs a top 15. If Colton Yo scores a top 15 today, Austin Johnson might fall out of the chase standings. There you see the 19 of McShane, the 63 Desperito, and there's some diverging strategy already. Ethan Head staying out, Jay Jefferson staying out. JSR is coming on in. RER bringing theirs in. There's the 76 coming in for repairs. Eli Bright happy to be having a caution because he has that damage to the right side there in that 8 truck. But a lot of drivers are going to stay out. Ethan Head, Gatlin Downey. We'll get that report as we go. We want to see how this pit stop cycle goes, though. If it's 2 tires, 4 tires, no fuel, and they're all going to work on the right side, I'd go, 12 laps in. That's maybe about, that's closing in easily on halfway through a fuel run. McShane's going to go for 2 tires. Desperito is going to go for 4. Shearer goes for 4. Faye, I think, went for 2. Looks like Stephen Wallace Jr. Looks like Desperito is the only one going for 4 tires there with Kev Shearer. But we will get that update after this. Looks like a few more going in, so we'll get that update after this. Matthew Brown is out of this race, and that is going to be his hopes for a chase done. Austin Johnson finishes 39th. That's his hopes for fighting his way into the chase done. He's going to have to rely on the rest of the field now, keeping some of these drivers at bay. Currently, Colton Yo sits inside the top 15, which would put him ahead of Austin Johnson in the point standings. Now, you still have to worry about you got Jay Jefferson, Sebastian Kukulon, Austin Murray also in that mix. You also have Bradley, Benyako, Lane behind him, which could still mess up the point standings. But Colton Yo sitting pretty good. These guys did not come down, so they'll have to come down soon. And the first driver that did come down, Priya McShane, will be very far back. But that's a great showing by her and Desperito to get those laps led early on. It looks like the top 24 are the ones that stayed out. We'll get a pit report for you soon, as well as this caution replay. Ethan Head, Gatlin Downey, Jesse Turner, Jay Jefferson, and Scott Roush will be your top 5 here at Chicagoland. Early on in this event, it's going to be the end of Matthew Brown's championship hopes as he goes in a 4-wide situation, forced up there. Cody Goforth, Austin Johnson also get pieces of it, but Matthew Brown's day done with a heavy hit to the outside wall. But Larry Hagan, looks like it's a bit of karma from yesterday's incident with Matthew Brown. He gets basically the same thing happen to him as Cordell Smith comes in, trying to tuck in behind and hooks them. Both the 76 and 6 pretty torn up after that. But Matthew Brown gets the worst hit. Onjak forced it 4 wide, just hooked the 16 up, nowhere for anyone to go. Big hit to Matthew Brown and his championship hopes, as well as even Austin Johnson's, could be over. Lights on the pace truck have gone out, and we want to give an update to the point standings currently. As Colton Yo sits right now inside the 11th position, he would be 2 points ahead of Austin Johnson. So it looks like it's going to be a 12th place finish or better today for Colton Yo to knock Austin Johnson out of the point standings. Drivers like Alex Peters, or Alex Benyako, Logan Bradley still would not be within the point standings as they run. But we got a lot of drivers left here looking for it. But a driver in third, Jesse Turner. Currently, as they stand, he would not be able to make the points standings pointing his way in. So he is in a must-win scenario in that number 47 truck. We'll see if Jesse Turner can hang on up in front. This burrito came back down pit road. I believe they went and did 2 tires on the other side. But currently, the first driver that came down pit road with 2 fresh tires is Priya McShane. Maxwell Fay also went for 2. Cody Goforth, Eli Bright went for 2 as they repaired their damage. The rest of those guys came down for 4 tires. Ethan Head, Gatlin Downey, Jesse Turner, Jay Jefferson, Scott Roush, Benyako, Morris, Delgado, Kobza, and Ray, your top 10. Green flags back in the air, racing once again at Chicagoland. Alex Peters getting aggressive back there in that 45 truck, but heads down into the corner as your race leader. Scott Roush now has his team boss, Alex Benyako, looking to the outside. Benyako still might be in a must-win scenario. Even with Austin Johnson being out of this race, he is a very far spots back from him and Colton Yo. Now Jay Jefferson, here comes the 48 looking for that race win this weekend. Gatlin Downey pushed to the race lead. Alex Benyako in the 83 looking for a way around Turner. Downey leads that lap, but Jefferson hot on his heels. Jesse Turner in the 47 looking for that third spot. Benyako going to shoot the gap right up the middle in the 83. He is not playing around right now. He wants to get to the front and try to win this race. That could be enough to get him into the chase. But now he has to deal with Jay Jefferson. As soon as Jefferson gets by Downey, he's going to set sail in that 48 truck. He did last season here. The same setup that got him to the race victory last year is on that truck today. You got the rest of the field fighting 2 and 3 wide further back. Cody Goforth off the pace. That's going to be his chase hopes dashed if he's that slow and cannot pass anyone in these last few laps. Eli Bright, he's locked in, but he wants that regular season title. 3 wide behind him. 3 wide for a majority of the rows here. As they go down the back, there's Logan Bradley in the 57. You got to watch for Logan Bradley. He's a good amount of points behind Colton Yo, but if he wins this race and Yo finishes 12th, Yo could still possibly be outpointed by the number 57, but Bradley is mired back in traffic. You also see back here Irving, Allison, Anderson, Reed. There's Colton Yo being thrown 3 wide. That is what he's worrying about, and right now a top 12 would almost guarantee him a chase berth in that 21 truck. He's just got to hope and pray that these fast trucks around him aren't the things that cost him this race, this chance at the chase. Out in front, though, Jefferson setting sail. Second down, he's starting to fall back to Benyako. Look at the Shepherd Racing 89 of Morris in 4th, and Morris knows how to get things done with championship implications at a 1.5-mile oval. We say it a lot, but you remember the Crown Royal Truck Series championship fight just a few years ago when he drove that 6 truck. That's why he wasn't allowed to drive the Truck Series last season. Alex Benyako throws caution to the wind right to the inside of Downey, blows past him. That's going to bring the 89 with him. What did Shepherd Racing put in that truck this weekend? Ethan Head now holding on. Viraja Ray in that 84. Will he be the contender? Will he be the threat to Jay Jefferson? If Ray finishes up here in the top 10, he's got that regular season title in the bag, and right now he's enjoying it. No wins on the season would not get him any bonus points there, but if he can win this regular season championship, that could put him close enough to Eli Bright to still have a chance heading through the chase. Riley Spurley-Tube's in a must-win scenario. Anderson Reed, must-win scenario, then some. He needed to win yesterday's race. He failed to do that, most likely eliminated from championship contention. Kukulon is fighting in the point standings. He's right on the cutoff, just a few points above on the cutoff. He's looking for another win that could solidify his chances into the chase. Looking further back, there's Austin Murray bringing it up. He just needs to point his way in solidly. Colton Yo is 13th. He's 1 spot away. Now, 13th would be a tiebreaker, but it would come down to the better average finish there in this race, and we're not sure. Austin Johnson's gotten a few more top finishes than Colton Yo, which could possibly cost him big for an average finish tiebreaker to make the chase. Daniel Kobza, Kev Shearer still up here. Looks like Shearer on those 4 tires. He's actually up to the 15th spot in those 4 fresh tires. Is he making a charge to the front? If this race can go green the entire way, which again, it's the NSDCA, who knows when that'll happen, but Kev Shearer and those guys on the 4 fresh tires could be the bigger threats as this run progresses, and possibly putting them on an alternate strategy could get them into victory lane. Pre-McShane trapped at the back. There's Lotus Disburrito as well. A lot of the slower trucks walk into the back, but Zachary DeLello's back here as well. Don't want to say he's a slower truck, but he really has not been a threat this season. Eli Bright has, I believe there's just too much damage on that 88 truck now. They repaired a bunch of it under the caution, but there's just so much you could do with a pit road, on pit road, really. So this 8 truck, it looks like he's just going to try to ride it out, take as many points as he can at the end. Peter Onjak also is locked in. He's fighting for the regular season title, but looks like he's been mired back in traffic in that 44 truck. There's Cody Goforth, a bit slow at the back. Up in front, the top 3 absolutely pulled away. Jefferson out in front, Benyako second, Morris third, fourth Ray, fifth Spurley Tube. And you see this front group more spread out, and the slower trucks starting to mingle as they are 2 and 3 wide back there at the back of this one. 24:54 complete, still 30 laps to go. We saw these guys pit around, lap 30 yesterday? But they still were running out of fuel coming down pit road, so we'll have to see if they just, under-fueled on that caution yesterday. Just to have enough to make it to the end, because there's no green-white checkers in the Crown Royal Truck Series. But you also could have just thought maybe they were stretching it on those opening fuel runs with the cautions. We have had less cautions this time. We'll have to see if these guys can make it to those 30 laps. To make it halfway and split it into pretty much 2 even stints would be to make it to lap 27, pit at the end of 27, and the transition to 28, you should be able to make it to the end of the race, unless it was indeed the pace laps that these guys were saving fuel on. Alex Benyako, though, starting to catch up to Jay Jefferson, but Jay is putting down fast laps after fast laps in that 48 truck. What will be his undoing this time? Looking for his 4th win on the season, which would get TSR their 7th in these 13 races. Colton Lane spoiled that yesterday, so TSR currently sits at a 50% win rate this year in the Crown Royal Truck Series. But we'll see if he can stretch that back out to over 50% as this race progresses. Alex Benyako, as we've said, he might be in a must-win scenario once again coming into Chicagoland. If he didn't have that spin yesterday, we might be talking about him pointing his way in. But here he comes with a charge on Jefferson. He's going to use all the power in that 83 truck he can. The 83 truck is very comparable to the 48 truck. They're some of the best trucks in the grid, equipment rise. But Benyako this season just has not been using it to his full potential. Now he's putting the pedal down. Big run off the corner. He's staying in the toe of the 48 truck. Let's see what he can do as this race hits over the halfway point. Can Benyako have anything for the Texas troublemaker Jay Jefferson in that 48 truck? Now Spurley Tube catching up to Morris. What a fantastic performance you're seeing out of this 89 truck today. And Roger Ray showing why he could win the championship. Carson Bowers last year didn't win a race all season until Richmond, when he really, really had to, when you saw Jay Jefferson rattling off great finishes, catching up and passing him in the point standings. Will Roger Ray, in the same equipment that Carson Bowers drove last season, with the same pit crew, the same crew chief, are they doing that same strategy? Don't show all your cards until the chase, and then you really turn up the heat. He's been consistent this season. Let's see if Roger can capitalize here. But currently, right now, he's sitting with those 15 bonus points in his pocket for being that regular season champion with a great run today. Kukulon up to 6th, doing what he needs to do, and Murray up to 8th from the back of this pack. Both of them doing what they need to do, point their way in. Kev Shearer, all those 4 fresh tires, up to 11th. There is the 12, Adam Mitchell this weekend. Colton Yo still fighting with some more drivers. He needs to hope for a top 10 finish, probably, is what you're aiming for right here. But the crew chief is sitting there. Just get up to 12th. Here's whose 12th is. Ethan Head, a few spots up on him. Just go get him. Go get him. We're going to need to pit. You get those 4 tires and you use them to the best of your ability. This 21 truck is dying to make the chase, and what an underdog story it would be if Yo could make it. Coming down to the closing laps, just about over 20 laps to go. We'll see if Colton Yo will be able to capitalize and finish off his underdog story. Daniel Cobb's very slow. They're all stacking up. Yo has to dive on in. Contact there between them. Now they're coming down pit road. Let's see who's all coming on in. Ethan Head. Those 3 slowed up. Head's going to blow right past them in a 3-wide move there. Riley Spurley Tube's going to pick up the race lead. He is in a must-win scenario to make the chase, but we're taking a look there. Let's see all the drivers that are down pit road. Benyako, Ray, Jefferson right there. There's Stephen Wallace Jr., Austin Delgado are in. That's Gatlin Downey, not SWJ. Colton Yo, Zachary DeLello, or Logan Bradley, sorry, Kukulon, Rainey, DeLello's there. There's Lane. Let's see, Colton Yo, Bit of a slower pit stop there for that 21 truck, but now we're in the middle of a cycle. This could be the make or break for a championship right here. Ethan Head leads this second group in. There's Irving Allison, Anderson Reed, Daniel Kobza, Antoine Smith, Aiden Smith, Peters, Onjack, Spurley Tube's now in, so that's going to hand the lead over to retiree Kev Shearer. He's going to take his lap led this season, get a bonus point here at Chicagoland, and he's enjoying it out in front. Possibly the last time he'll ever be out in front in the NSDCA. Not a rag on him, but a rag on RER. But currently, 1, 2, 3 for RER. Caution comes out right now. Where's the rain? Where's the Chicago Rains? Because RER could make history here. Caution is out! The yellow flag is out! It's Toby Christie, the rookie, and Rockstar Energy Racing has just trapped the top 16 a lap down, the top 15 on the lead lap. Colton Yo is trapped a lap down in 33rd, and that is probably going to eliminate the young driver in the 21 from championship contention. We said it was a pretty bad pit stop, and caution comes out in turn number 1. Maxwell Fye might also have been the other one in it. But Rockstar Energy Racing, this top 20, this top 15 that are on the lead lap, I'm pretty sure none of them, except Eli Bright, that's correct, none of them except Eli Bright have won in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Now, these guys get a waiver round, technically. Jay Jefferson, Alex Banyako, Riley Spurleytube, with the leaders pitting and taking their pit stops. These guys will all be in front of the race leaders for a restart. However, if there's no caution, you're screwed. Colton Yo is going to line up about 12th or 13th on this restart, which would be great. This is pretty much what it was looking like when we went to caution, or when the cycle came, but those guys that pit under that first caution now will trap the field a lap down, and we have the opportunity. Adam Mitchell is going to be the first one off pit road. RER is your top 3. Stephen Wallace Jr. is in there. Eli Bright will probably ruin the show for him, but he does have that damage. Cordell Smith, Patrick Smith, Maxwell Fay, Lotus Disparito, Cody Goforth, Eric Monaco, Toby Christie. All are, that's your top 15 basically right there, with Adam Mitchell now, the rookie, leading this field. And when they come around, we'll get the update. I'm sure with how this is, all 37 will be on the lead lap. So all you need is an early caution. Colton Yo sits 27th. At this point, he needs to finish ahead of Jay Jefferson. And with the pace Jay's showing, I don't know if that's going to happen. Early caution could change this, because we do have these slower trucks that would be restarting just in front of those drivers. And Priya McShane actually beat Adam Mitchell out, so McShane will take the lead right back as they come around this time by in that number 19 truck. But here we go. All drivers are on the lead lap. However, half the field is a lap down. We're pacing around here at Chicagoland. We'll see what brought out the caution to change everything here. Toby Christie in his second start is going to possibly throw the biggest wrench into this championship fight we've seen since Season 4. It's actually a pretty simple spin that's going to bring us to this caution. Toby Christie was up inside the top 10, but just gets turned and spun out by Alex Fletcher in the 32 truck. And he was on him for a while. I don't know why the 32 just didn't slow down and stop the 36 from spinning, but Christie's going to bring us to the caution. What'll happen next for these chase drivers? Back live here at Chicagoland. We're going to be under about 16 laps to go when we go back racing. The front group of this, about the top 20 in this line, are at the tail end of the lead lap. Priya McShane, Adam Mitchell, Kev Shearer, Stephen Wallace Jr., Alex Fletcher, Eli Bright, Cordell Smith, Patrick Smith, Maxwell Fay, Lotus Disparito, Cody Goforth, Eric Monaco, Toby Christie, your top 13. Those are the ones that could be fighting for this race win. Early caution comes out. That whole group in front goes by, and these 13 drivers are going to have to fight for their lives. The NSDCA has also called Simtech Racing owner Jake Rose, as well as Alex Fletcher and the spotter, to the hauler after the race for an investigation on that incident. There was apparently something said over the radio that could be misconstrued as an intentional act of bringing out a caution. The 19 is out in front. Adam Mitchell second. Kev Shearer third. Green flag's in the air. The front group is going to go, but these guys that are fighting back here, you can't pass to the inside before you get to the line, so they can't really do much with the trucks in front of them. Green flag's back in the air. Will the lappers at the tail end of this stay clean and let these guys race to the end? Let's see what'll happen as McShane has Adam Mitchell all over the back of her. Shearer in third, looking for his first win of his career in his final season in the NSDCA. Stephen Wallace Jr.'s in this fight. Here comes SWJ. Here comes Eli Bright. He could be the driver to beat, even with that damage. Now they're going to have to navigate this big old pack of trucks right in front of them. Now you got Alex Fletcher in the 32. You got Maxwell Fye. You got JSR looking for a double top 10. Stephen Wallace Jr. with a big move. Here comes Mitchell to the bottom, trying to get his first Truck Series win. He's been shown as one of the greats in the NSDCA that could be coming up. And now, can he break the Regional Series Championship drought here of doing anything in National Series competition? Can Mitchell be the first champion to win in the Crown Royal Truck Series? As McShane almost up into Shearer. Here comes Shearer with a run. Can Kev Shearer win in his final season? Antoine Smith holding the rest of the field at bay, and you're allowed to race no matter how many laps down you are. You're allowed to race. It just depends on what the drivers think about your pace in front of them. Adam Mitchell currently your race leader. Kev Shearer in the 24 back there. Rockstar Energy Racing has never won in the NSDCA in a National Series competition. Their only wins ever coming with Kyle Corbett. They're into the wall. Peter Aljack's in it. Antoine Smith's around. Eli Bright's around in front of him. Alex Fletcher, Eric Monaco's in it. Bright is up and over, flipping down the front straightaway as Christie almost hits him. And that's going to put Jefferson up here into the fight. These guys are all going to be part of the fight now. Colton Yo in the 21. Where is he? He's 30th. Listed as 30th. That's not going to help him. But we're going to be going back racing with under 10 laps to go. And we have the fastest trucks on the grid right behind these slower drivers. Eric Monaco's day done. Eli Bright is out. Alex Fletcher's torn up in that one. Heartbreaking for Aiden Smith and Antoine. They're going to be trapped a lap down. Peter Ronjak was also involved in that. Monaco's bringing the car back down. So Jay Jefferson should be restarting this race in 10th. Riley Spurleytube, Alex Benyako are must-win scenarios. Kukulon, Murray could lock themselves in. Morris, a win, does not change anything. He's too far back. Roger Ray has now locked up the regular season title. Onjak and Bright both wrecked out of this one. Alex Peters cannot do it because Ray can't finish lower than 36th now at this point. Irving Allison, right off his championship hopes. Colton Lane, 28th. He still has to hang on over Irving Allison. He still has to hang on over Irving Allison. Irving's 7 points behind him. If Irving gets a monster restart and Lane's trapped back there, Irving could point his way in. You also got, well, Kukulon's up there. So Bright's now at the back. I don't think he can fall that far back in time. He's out of this one, but I don't think he can be having to take a wild card spot after this. Colton Yo's 29th. He needs a prayer. Jay Jefferson's going to restart with this 12th, but you got Scott Roush, Antoine Smith, Peter Onjak, and Aiden Smith all in here as well. Adam Mitchell and Rockstar Energy Racing is 1, 2, 3 currently at Chicagoland in the Crown Royal Truck Series. We'll have to take a look at this replay. We'll be going back racing under 10 to go. We'll see who will make the final 10 for the postseason. Looks like this is the third caution of the day, and another big one. 4 wide as the lappers are trying to stay ahead of the race leaders. Onjak gets hooked in this one as well. Eli Bright's going to be the one going on a wild ride down at the bottom of the screen. Scott Roush in it, though. They're 4 wide. Aiden Smith runs him up, and they all hit the wall. Eli thinks he's through it. Antoine Smith hooks him, and he goes spinning around. Eric Monaco hits him, and it's going to be a wild flip for Eli. Good thing about flips, though, they may look scary, but they dissipate a lot of energy. Usually they're the safer things to have, and here it is on board with Eli Bright. He had the visor cam this weekend, and just at the back of this one, trying to get through it, Antoine Smith gets spun in front of him. Eli goes spinning, gets hit, and it's going to be a wild ride here as he goes flipping upside down. Couple big hits to the front, but he should be okay. He's gotten out of his race truck, thankfully. But a big crash here with these guys now going to put a ton of drivers back at the back of the lead lap, right behind those top 13. We'll see what'll happen in the closing laps. As the lights on the pace truck go out, we have a points update. Currently, as Colton Yo sits, he sits 16 points out of the chase. It'll be a lot for him to try to do that in 10 laps. If Jay Jefferson crashes out or is involved in something, that could be enough to get Colton in. However, Alex Benyako only sits 4 points behind Yo, so if something happens to Jefferson, Benyako might be able to steal that spot into the chase. However, they have a whole field of drivers who have never won in the trucks, much less in regional series competition. Adam Mitchell has not won in top 3 divisions. Neither has McShane, nor Shearer, nor Patrick Smith. Maybe Patrick Smith. I don't think Patrick Smith has. Stephen Wallace Jr. has Mountain Dew Custom Series win, but Faye, Cordell Smith, Disparito do not have wins. Neither does Christie, neither does Goforth. These two are slow, and you got some lap trucks between them, but there's Jefferson, Spurley, Benyako, Kukulon, Murray, Morris, Ray. Fast trucks behind him. Can Adam Mitchell prove that he is the real deal and score Rockstar Energy Racing their first win in 5 years of National Series competition, actually? Green flags in the air. We're going to Chicagoland. We're back racing. Here we go. Patrick Smith looking to the bottom as now McShane's going to go up top. He's trying to get around Aiden Smith, this 19 truck. Here comes Patrick Smith in the 94. Maxwell Fye in the 01. Here they come off the corner. Shearer now held up by the 68. Jefferson already to the bottom of Christie and Onjack, trying to make those moves. Can these slower trucks hang on to win? Over. Oh my God, Maxwell Fye sideways on the bottom of Kev Shearer. I just saw that smoke come out. Now, McShane to the inside, looking to be the first female to win in National Series competition. Patrick Smith in the 94. Where does he go? Does he try to show that he's one of the greats? Shearer wide. Jefferson still back in traffic. The laps tick down. Runs out of time for Jay to get up there. Spurley tube all over the back of Jefferson now. Spurley tube is a win and you're in right there. Possibly. Patrick Smith now to the inside of Priya McShane. Can Smith win for CFRO? Smith has not won in the NSDCA. He had that season with Anjato. That was the only time he was ever really in competitive equipment until this year in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. They've given him the opportunity to drive this 94 truck. He's now in the race lead as they go. Maxwell Fye up the track. There's Shearer. There's Antoine Smith. Jefferson still held up behind. Where is Colton Yo? Yo is mired in traffic. His championship hopes are going away from him as they run right now. Now, Ray held up by the 36. Ray doesn't have to finish anywhere he doesn't want to. He has the regular season title locked up. Now McShane back to the lead. 5 to go at Chicagoland. Smith and Mitchell are two of the most hyped underdogs in this field. Patrick Smith has been strong in this Cup Series cars, in the trucks during testing and races. Adam Mitchell has been shown to be one of the new breed of the strong drivers with a DPDS championship last season. The DPDS guys have never done anything in National Series competition. Really, their champions don't go on to do much. And now Mitchell is fighting for a race win. Maxwell 5 4th, Kev Shearer 5th. Lotus Disparito trying to get that 63 a top 10, but here comes Jefferson in the 48. His charge might be coming too late. Murray looked real slow. Alex Benyako, he just needs to win this race. I don't think he's going to be able to point it on in, especially with Jefferson in front of him. Looking back through the field one more time. There's Irving Allison. Irving is pulling away from Colton Yo. This could be what Irving needs to make the chase and take a wild card spot if he can finish that high. But as they go, McShane in the race lead. Smith second, Mitchell third. McShane running the outside. Here comes Smith right back in that 94 truck. Jefferson is now looking for 5th on Shearer. The time might just be running out for that 48 truck. Here comes Smith back to the bottom on the 19. Looking for that spot as Adam Mitchell in the 12 is looking for it. CFRO's part-time truck, their only win in the truck series, came at Daytona with Logan Bradley in the 94. Now can Smith do it as the 12 of Mitchell back to the bottom? Rockstar Energy Racing has never had a 1-2 finish, much less a win in the truck series, and Priya McShane is on her way to showing she could do that. She started on pole. Whatever adjustments, whatever repairs they did to the 19 truck have worked over the evening, and they are out in front. 2 laps to go. Jefferson is being held up by Kev Shearer. Shearer, he knows he can't win this, so for the final message of his time this season, he's going to hold up Jefferson to make sure he doesn't get up there and ruin this Rockstar Energy Racing battle to the finish. But there's Eric Monaco. The slow truck of Eric Monaco out in front. Is that enough for Mitchell to steal this? McShane out in front, coming to the white flag. Rockstar Energy Racing looking for their first win in the NSDCA. The Crown Royal Truck Series has had some surprising winners before, but none could be bigger than either of these top 2. Monaco out in front is going to hold up McShane. Can they get around him? Will this bring Jefferson into the fight? McShane to the bottom of Monaco. Not happy with him. Chicagoland yelling on the radio, and he's enjoying this in that 20 truck back there. Into the final corner. Patrick Smith, does he have anything? Does Mitchell have anything? Smith with the run. Through the corner for the final time. Nose to tail. Mitchell to the inside. Drag race coming to the line. Priya McShane makes history as the first female winner in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Adam Mitchell, shades of Jose Perez 2 years ago, on a part-time basis, comes up just short at the end. Priya McShane sneaks out a victory in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Can you believe it? Kev Shearer comes home 5th. Who knows if that's his last top 5, but the fans saluting him. Kukulon on the radio saluting him. Jay Jefferson pissed off at him for obvious reasons. Alex Benyako comes home 13th. Maxwell Fye with the top 10. Rockstar Energy Racing started out as Red Bull Motorsports 5 years ago in the Mountain Dew Custom Series in the second season of that competition. Sebastian Kukulon almost won the championship with 0 victories that year, coming up just short. And ever since then, they really have just been there. A decent mid-pack team. But the underdog moment for Priya McShane, she steps up to the plate in the 19 truck. She had the speed early on, and she takes home the victory in a Rockstar Energy Racing 1st, 2nd, and 5th. Team owner Sebastian Kukulon overjoyed. Lotus Disparito comes home 7th for Joseph Strigley Racing. Toby Christie falls to 29th. Colton Yo in 24th. I think that's the end of the underdog story there. Colton Lane 23rd. Irving Allison 16th. I don't think that's enough for Irving to pass Lane in the standings. So we'll have to see on that. Logan Bradley's not going to make the chase. Priya McShane, Adam Mitchell. I don't know if anyone would have predicted that earlier in this race, but McShane comes home the victor. We'll go ahead, take a quick step away, get you guys back. Your Championship 10, the Chase 10, that will be heading into Mosport with a chance at the title. Our statisticians have finally calculated the point standings, and we will give you the 10 drivers that will be in the 4th annual Crown Royal Truck Series chase for the championship. No surprise here, it's Roger Ray taking home the regular season title with a bonus 15 points coming to that organization. Roger Ray, 8 top 10s on the season, the man of consistency, 3 average finishing spots better than Eli Bright, who comes home 2nd with a 3-win run in the last 3 weeks before the Chicagoland doubleheader. Really, he put him on the map, and he will be a major championship contender. 3rd in points due to Peter Onjak's crash will become Alex Peters with 2 victories on the season, 7 top 10s. Meaning Peter Onjak falls to the 4th position, 41 points back from Roger Ray. Austin Murray with a great run today will put himself into the 5th position in points. Jay Jefferson will get 6th as he gains from 8th to 6th in that run there. In 7th, Sebastian Kukalon, making the 4th different race winner in the 8 to point in that number 20. So the Sauber Racing Team has a chance at a championship this year. And in 8th, it will be Austin Johnson, who was spun out early on in this event, was totaled the truck, was hoping and praying that Colton Yeo would not pass him. Sadly, Colton Yeo's underdog performance will go amiss again, but you cannot give out that he had a run that we haven't seen of before. The only time we ever saw a run like that was Jose Perez 2 years ago, and Perez has grown to be a very strong driver, and of course we're hoping Jose the best in his recovery from his Kentucky incident. But Colton Yeo will be 9th, and Alex Benyako will come home 10th, 20 points behind. It was a must-win scenario. If it was just him and Jefferson at the end, he could have had something for him, but he will come home 10th. 11th in points is your first of the wild card drivers, being Riley Spurleytube with a fantastic drive in that last moments. He will put himself as the 9th driver in the chase with a wild card spot. Logan Bradley is 12th in points out of this one, and by 5 points between them for 13th and 14th, Colton Lane for Monster Motorsports, with his clutch win at Chicagoland yesterday, will make the chase, and Irving Allison, just 5 points off at the end, will miss it, meaning that Shade Burkhart Racing will miss the chase, I'm pretty sure, for the first time ever. Last season, Irving Allison was in the chase. Season 2, Blake Maurice, Aiden Burkhart. In Season 1, of course, Blake Maurice took home the title. This is the first year in 4 years of chase competition that SBR will not be in the postseason. Stephen Wallace Jr. comes home 15th in points. Jose Perez currently 16th. Cody Goforth 17th. Jesse Turner 18th. Matthew Brown 19th. And Anderson Reed are your top 20 there. Reed with a good fight there. But we have our 10 chase drivers fighting for this chase. It'll be exciting when we head to Canada for road racing, the final road course of the season for both Cup and Trucks at Mosport. We have the Cup chase race left to go with a bunch of drivers fighting for those 12 spots. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and congratulations to Priya McShane and Roger Ray for coming out of this with trophies. Ray with the regular season trophy, Priya McShane with her first NSDCA winner's trophy. Sure to be exciting as we finish up the Chicagoland weekend. We also have Mosport coming up for both the Cup and Trucks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.